In this video, I'm going to show you why I chose Tattooed Chef to invest in as a short squeeze stock in March of 2022. And to do that, I'm going to use three tools. It's going to be FinViz, TradingView, and iBorrowDesk. Now, I'm going to show you why I use these three tools, but you can replace two of these with whatever you prefer to get the job done. So FinViz, I'm going to use to find short squeeze stocks, anything with a high short interest and a high short ratio. TradingView I'm going to use as a charting tool. I just want to look at the chart of the stock. And then iBorrowDesk, I'm not aware of any other tool or website that does what this website does, and I will get into each and every one of these and show you how I do this and how I used all of these to find or come to the conclusion that Tattooed Chef is the stock that I want to be in, because I strongly believe there will be a short squeeze on this stock coming up here soon. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to start with FinViz. This is where I start my journey, my search to find potential short squeeze stocks. I go over to finviz.com and I click on their screener. Everything in this video is totally free. You don't need accounts for any of these things. So we go to the screener at FinViz and we will go over to this float short option right here, and we're going to bump that down to you can do over 30% if you want. I mean, set it to whatever you want depending on how many stocks you want to sift through. The highest setting is 30% for the free version of FinViz, and that will get you 34 stocks. There's 34 stocks in the stock market that have a short float over 30%. Okay, so now that we have filtered all the stocks in the stock market to that, we are going to go to this tab right here, ownership. Click on that, and that will show us the short float, the short interest ratio, the short ratio and the short interest, right? So these are the two columns that I'm mostly interested in. So I'm going to sort by this float short option. I'm going to click it twice to bring the most shorted stocks in the stock market up to the top. All right, so now I have my list sorted by short interest. So we can see at the top at 50% short interest, Blue Apron is number one in the stock market right now. But this is not interesting to me. It would be interesting if the short ratio was higher. So short interest is how many shares out there are being shorted. Out of all of the shares that it has out on the streets, how many of them are being shorted? 50% of the shares available are being shorted in Blue Apron. That is very high. Obviously, it's number one in the stock market, but this number right here is not very high. Short ratio. So short ratio means how long would it take all of those shorts to cover their positions based on the volume. Okay, so based on the average volume that's being traded in a day and how many shares are shorted, it would take 3.8 days for that short position to be covered. Okay, that sounds like a lot, 3.8 days, but compared to some of the other numbers on this list, it's not. So when you have a low number here, shorts can get out of their position quickly, and that means it's less likely that we're going to have this huge short squeeze run up in price. So I'm looking for a high number in this column. We already have the highest numbers here sorted. Now we can go down this column and look at these high numbers, because that means it's going to take a long time for these short investors to get out of their positions. So that means that stock price is going to run up and up and up quickly and for a long time. If there is a short squeeze, if there is a flight to safety, for these short positions. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means if it happens, it's going to be an epic, a bigger short squeeze. Okay, so I go down this list and I see, okay, 13 days for this stock to cover its short positions. What is this? It's View. Okay, View Incorporated. So is this a potential short squeeze target? Well, it has met my first two criteria of being a high short interest and a high short ratio. So now I move on to my next tool, and that is iBorrowDesk, and I type in View. I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm doing this. So iBorrowDesk shows you the fee that investors have to pay their broker to borrow shares to short a position. Okay, so this is important because if it's a very high fee, then you can assume that person is not going to be in that short position for very long. They don't want to pay that very high fee for very long. Okay, so you can, let me go back out to the homepage of iBorrowDesk. You can see these are the highest fees in the stock market right now. ARQQ, by far the highest fee, 479%. Now this is an annual percent. So this means if you were to short this stock, you would have to pay, let's say you put $100 into a short position in ARQQ. You would have to pay $479 in fees to short this company for 1 year. Does that make sense? I hope that I explained that right. So that doesn't include if the stock market goes, or if this stock goes up or down at all. That just means you have to pay that money to short that. So you could imagine if you are shorting this stock, you do not want to be in it for very long at all, because it costs a lot of money to be in this stock every single day in a short position, right? So with that idea in mind, we go over here and we look at our potential short squeeze stocks. Okay, so let's type in View. That was the one that we identified as a potential short squeeze stock, right? We said, okay, it's got a high short interest, it's got a high short ratio. Let's go over to iBorrowDesk and type in View and see this fee is 3.6%. It's not very much, right? This person that would be shorting this stock has to pay 3.6% per year to short this stock. It's not really that bad. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you don't want to pay any money, ideally, but when you're talking about shorting stocks, you're talking about potentially making a lot of money over a short or medium or long term. If you really strongly believe that that stock is going to go down. So 3.6% is really not that bad. So that means there's less chance that we're really going to see a big squeeze in this stock, right? There's not as much emphasis to get out of their positions if they're losing money. So that's a no-go. So let's move on to the next one. The next one down is Tattooed Chef. And obviously this video is about Tattooed Chef, so I'm going to skip that one for just a moment. I want to give you one more example, or maybe two more examples, to really highlight one more thing, one more piece of criteria that I look for. FUV is one that is going to do that job, so let me show you why. So FUV, high short interest, high short ratio, right? It meets those two criteria. So let's go over to iBorrowDesk and type in FUV and see what kind of fees are on this one. 12%. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit higher, and you can see here over time that the fee has actually gone up from 8.1 to 8.2, 8.4, 8.5, 8.7, 8, 11.9, 12.3, right? This is heading in the right direction for a short squeeze. This is what you want to see, this number just creeping up. Still, 12.3% is good. It's not astronomical, as you saw on the homepage of iBorrowDesk. The highest ratio, the highest fee is like 479%. So 12.3 compared to that is obviously nothing, but it's not nothing. It's a decent number. Okay, so this could have been a potential pick for me to short. So why didn't I choose this one? Now let's go to the third tool that is important here. Go to the chart and type in FUV. And again, you can use any charting tool to do this job. So why didn't I choose FUV? Well, if you look at over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading days, 5 trading days ago, this stock was at $4.50, and yesterday at the close, it got past $7. So it went from $4.50 to $7, right? So a $2.50 increase from a $4.50 position is over 50%. That's over 50% move. And then look at these bars down here. This is volume. So look at how the volume changed over the last 5 days. This is all, normal volume. And then over the last 5 days, boom, massive volume. This, to me, is very likely a short squeeze, right? It went from $4.50 to $7, more than 50% rise over 5 days on massive volume. That is a short squeeze. So I'm not choosing FUV because it's already been squeezed. The shorts have already been squeezed. That doesn't mean that it won't continue to run higher. It just means it's less likely to squeeze further from here. So I think that the short squeeze has already been done here, or at least the majority of it. I could be wrong, but that's one more thing that I use to narrow down my search, right? So, okay, I wanted to show you why I use that tool, and now let's go to the one that I'm making this video about, the one that I have decided to go long in, because I do believe that there's going to be a short squeeze here. So look, you got 38% short interest. You've got 17 days, almost 18 days on the short ratio, right? That's massive. That's the highest one on this list, right? Now let's go over to iBorrowDesk, and guys, look at this. Remember all those numbers I was showing you? 3%, 12%. Tattooed Chef, the fee to borrow shares to go short on this is 52%. And it has been creeping up. I mean, yesterday, over the last 45 minutes between the close and after the close, it went up 5% from 47 to 52. And that's a big move, right? And it's been high over the last few days. It has been really high. So there's, it's not a significant change here, but this is, it's already high. So that's a check in the box for this stock on this tool, right? So we've got a high short interest, we've got a high short ratio, we've got a high fee. Let's check the chart. Is this going to be the one? And you see over the last 5 days, yes, it has run up somewhat, but it has not run up 50% like FUV. Let's look at the very bottom. It was at $11 at the very bottom, and yesterday it closed at, let's call it 13 just to make it easy. So 11 to 13 is $2 on an $11 stock. That's right around 20% that it's gone up from its bottom 5 trading days ago. So hey, 20% in 5 days, obviously that is good money, but I think there is a long way to go based on also this volume profile. You can see the volume has not really spiked over these 5 trading days, so I would not call that a short squeeze. I would call that just kind of moving with the market. This is generally what the market has looked like over the last 5 trading days. Of course, the overall stock market has not gone up 20% over the last 5 trading days, but it has pretty much done this what this looks like, right? It's just moved with the market. The volume has been very normal, so I would not call that a short squeeze. So all that said, I don't think the short squeeze is in on Tattooed Chef. The fee is very high on Tattooed Chef. The short float is very high on Tattooed Chef, and the short ratio is, astronomical. It's the highest on this list. So all of those things put together make me believe that this is the ideal candidate to enter a long position, Tattooed Chef, because I think the shorts in this stock are going to get squeezed out very soon. Sometime in this month, potentially within the next week. I don't know. I don't want to make a prediction there, but it does seem like kind of the stars are kind of aligning for this to be the next big short squeeze. So I'm recording this video at 8:42 in the morning before the market opens. Pretty much as soon as the market opens, I'm going to enter a long position on this stock and just hold out and keep paying attention to these numbers. Now, as these numbers change, I could get out of my position without a short squeeze. Obviously I don't want that to happen, but if we see this number decrease, this number decrease, this number decrease significantly, or this chart start to look bad in any way, then I may leave this position. But I really don't see that happening. I just see too many good things here that are adding up to this being a really good short squeeze stock. So let me know what you guys think of my analysis down in the comments below. Did I miss something here? Am I way off? Let me know. I'm always here to, I'm always willing to learn and listen to new ideas and new ways of getting this job done. So let me know what you guys think of this analysis down in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It helps out my channel. It supports me, and it's free to do so. And if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.